My name is Brayden, host of a weekly Disney news show right here on this YouTube channel. This week, instead of just talking Disney, we're living it as we explore everything Disney has to offer for the fall season. Today brings us the biggest event of the trip, Disney After Hours, where we see queue wait times, event perks, and whether or not this party is worth the price. A night virtually alone in the Magic Kingdom, just you, the viewers, and I, starting right now. Good evening, everyone. We are entering the Magic Kingdom, as you might say, after hours. Here inside the TTC, on the way to the Magic Kingdom, and the real question is, take the ferry boat or risk it and take the monorail? You guys know the monorail is one of my favorite things in all of Walt Disney World, but it has been pretty unreliable lately with the older Mark 6 monorails. They do have some electrical resets and things like that, so it's always sort of a risk taking them, but it's so much fun taking the monorail. Let's just do it.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
We have arrived in the Magic Kingdom. Let's go check in. So over here you can see guests exiting the Magic Kingdom, day guests, and then over here you have the entrance for Disney After Hours. Just checked in. Here we have the guide that tells you everything going on, all the attractions that are open, the food offerings you can get at Casey's Corner and Main Street Bakery, as well as some of the complimentary beverages and food you can get as well. And at this time, we have these yellow wristbands. Believe it or not, there are no lanyards for this Disney After Hours currently. As you enter, there have been cast members saying, oh, by the end of the night we'll have the lanyards, but it appears for now there are no lanyards for this Disney After Hours event. You might be saying, Brayden, this looks like a heck of a lot more guests than I would expect at Disney After Hours, and I would say to you, well, the park is still technically open. It is not 9 o'clock yet, so Disney After Hours hasn't officially begun, and right now the projection show is playing, as you can hear behind me. Over here on Main Street, while we wait for Happily Ever After to get started and the regular park guests to leave so the park empties out, I'm over here by the Walt Disney World Railroad on the Main Street station, and as you can see, it's all empty. What's going to happen in December 2018, December of this year, the Walt Disney World Railroad will stop circling the Magic Kingdom, and instead one of the locomotives will just reside permanently right here on Main Street Station to see as you enter, and also to be able to get up close to and tour. All these gates will be open. You'll be able to walk up and walk around and get pictures with the locomotive. And the reason they're doing that is because part of the Walt Disney World Railroad will be obstructed as they build the Tron coaster in Tomorrowland. We aren't sure just yet when exactly it will return, but we do think sometime in mid-2019. As always, an incredible Happily Ever After. That is seriously an amazing show. Probably objectively Disney's best fireworks show currently running. There's so many people, as I was walking back up here after seeing the show, people were saying, I'd really love to see that again. No joke, like multiple people I walked past, so that just goes to show just how great of a show it is. As you can see behind me, everyone is leaving because it's time for Disney After Hours, and here's a little time lapse of everyone exiting the park. And here we are. Where did the crowds go? They left. Disney After Hours has begun. Look at Town Square. There are still some park guests filtering out, but it looks like we have the Magic Kingdom almost entirely to ourselves. Alone in the Magic Kingdom. Here we go. Over here at the Town Square Theater, you can just walk right in and meet Mickey during Disney After Hours. Here looking at Main Street, you may notice that half of the people on Main Street are PhotoPass photographers who are there to take photos during Disney After Hours of any guests if they want to get a photo down the empty Main Street. Look at that. This is so beautiful. First stop in our Grand Circle tour alone in the Magic Kingdom, we have Adventureland, where we are gonna go on the Jungle Cruise. Here we are at the magic carpets of Aladdin, spitting water. Ride number 1, let's ride the Jungle Cruise.
Welcome, welcome. We're just playing this cool little game called Give Me Your Credit Card Information. Welcome aboard the world famous Jungle Cruise, where we're world famous. We're being famous around the world. Can everyone hear me? Awesome. Yes, my name is Skipper Alice. I'm your captain for today. So keep your eyes peeled. You never know until stumble into in the jungle. Like a python. Careful, that's dangerous. Yes, they can develop a crush on you. Don't get wrapped up in that. It's quite constricting and smothering. Oh, speaking of smothering, my in-laws are in town, unannounced again. Hey guys, what's the difference between an in-law and an outlaw? An outlaw's wanted. But you know, we are now entering the Nile River, which is another river in Africa. It's actually the longest river in the world. It just goes on for miles and miles and miles. And if you don't believe me, you're probably in disbelief. Here's a sandstone rock formation right here. Now, I like to point this out to people because so many folks, they just take it for granted. I think it's one of our more bolder attractions. Yes, I can marvel at it all day. Guys, look at Schweitzer Falls. These Schweitzer Falls. You're the one named after the famous German explorer, Dr. Albert Ball. Skipper Allison, how did you land your job here? Well, I think it's pretty plain to see. I took a crash course. And ever since then, I've just sort of been winging it. But that's the tail end of that joke. My career never really took off. I took the moment we've all been waiting for. Put your hands together for the 8th wonder of the world. It's the backside of water. Woo!
Great ride on the Jungle Cruise. Skipper Allison did an incredible job. Next, it's time to head over to Pirates of the Caribbean. Outside of Pirates of the Caribbean, to give you an idea of the crowd levels, 1 person. One of the park rules you may not know about is not to run, so you gotta fast walk through all these queues. We're heading in to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Surrender, Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, quit your clucking. The gentlemen want the rum. Don't you, boys?
Now, we have to hit up all the mountains, starting with Splash Mountain. We have arrived at Splash Mountain. I'm so fortunate to be able to share this event with all of you watching. I just want to thank you guys so much for all the support as we enter Splash Mountain here. One of the reasons I was able to do this is because for annual pass holders, there's a discount associated with this event. So if you are a pass holder in the future, you may want to look into that. Those discounts also apply to room rates as well as Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Lost his penny found. How do you do?
So Brad Rabbit's looking for a little adventure, eh?
Thinking your nose in the wrong laughing place this time for sure.
Just exited Splash Mountain. We have a lot more mountains to go. We only have 45 minutes. I just realized you can actually enter through the exit to the attraction to get on Splash Mountain. Lots of empty boats. Over here, about to ride Big Thunder Mountain, you can see one of the refreshment stands where you can go over and get complimentary popcorn, ice cream, and beverages while you're here during Disney After Hours. Big Thunder Mountain time, only 5 minutes. Wildest ride in the wilderness complete, 2 mountains down. Let's keep going. Here at the Rivers of America, you can see the refurbishment they are doing with the track, and they have some construction vehicles down there actually shoveling up some of the sludge at the bottom. Going past It's a Small World here, you can see just how empty the pathways are. Pretty amazing. Heading over to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it's just incredible looking at these pathways, just how empty they are. It's definitely a different experience. A walk on to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, what is this? Here we go, front row. Tomorrowland. I think we're making great time. We only have one mountain left and it is 11:42. The thing with Disney After Hours is if you're going on a short trip or you only get to go once a year, this is extremely worth it for you because you can just get through a ton of attractions, just boom, 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 go, go, go. But I'm someone who sort of likes to take in the atmosphere and look at what's going on with construction. You can't do that during this. Heading through the Space Mountain queue. Look how beautiful it is. As you can see, it is officially midnight. Still in line for Space Mountain. Guests waiting for Space Mountain go all around here, back through here, all the way over here. It's a lot of guests. Well, we did it. We hit all the mountains around the Magic Kingdom, and it would not have been possible without Disney After Hours. We're out here in the temporary exit from Space Mountain, where you can sort of in the distance hear some work going on over in the Tron vicinity. I can definitely hear some construction equipment. This exit has been here all summer, and it is here while they refurbish the moving walkway exit inside Space Mountain, which has needed some work for a long time, so it's great to see Disney doing that. Hear all that? It's past midnight, so officially Disney After Hours is complete, but going over here towards the Tomorrowland middle area, you can see that they are still serving popcorn and refreshments to guests. Look at Tomorrowland. Have you ever seen it this empty before? So as guests exit Tomorrowland, I know there's still a big line at Space Mountain. I just want to talk about my thoughts on the Disney After Hours event. Now, going into it, I expected it was going to be a situation where by the time the party started, the park would be cleared out, but that turned out to not really be the case. You know, after Happily Ever After, like a normal night, there's all sorts of people that are over at the Emporium checking out everything going on there. The other thing that was quite interesting is no lanyard at this specific event. It was a nice souvenir, but it's not absolutely essential. It is a nice thing to offer though, and it's a great way to do free advertising. I mean, people are going to take pictures of their lanyards and put them online. That's what people are doing. That's how a lot of people found out about Disney After Hours in the first place, so I do not think that was a good change there. So as for if Disney After Hours is worth the $119 current price tag, I would put it this way. If you have a short time that you're in Walt Disney World, you're only there for a week, a year, or something like that, this event is perfect for you because you can run around. You get to get in as soon as 7 p.m. and you could just start running around hitting every attraction possible. We hit every single mountain in the Magic Kingdom and we only started at 10:30, like halfway through the Disney After Hours event. So if you get there at 7 p.m., you could probably ride every single ride open during Disney After Hours, which is pretty incredible. I definitely had a great time. Personally though, especially with Space Mountain with the 20-minute wait, I've waited less time on Space Mountain on normal park days. There's actually a case to be made that when you have no guests, you also run into some delays on these attractions because at Splash Mountain, they didn't want to just run a ton of empty boats, so they were trying to wait for guests to get on some of the boats, which also resulted in a backup on the rest of the attraction where you had to wait a little while to go. So interestingly, there is sort of a little bit of added time with having less guests. It's almost like you need that happy medium where you have the perfect amount of guests loading on the attraction for it to load at the optimal speed where you don't have to wait in a long queue, but also you get through the attraction without having a bunch of logs all piling up on Splash Mountain, or in the case of Space Mountain, not having enough people for the 2 bays and only using 1, and as a result, there's sort of still being a ton of people waiting in line because it's just not enough for 2, but for 1, it is kind of a little congested. So to finish out the vlog, let's head back over to Main Street and see how empty it can get and get some great video.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on behalf of everyone here at the Magic Kingdom, we thank you for joining us today for a magical gathering of family, friends, fun, and fantasy. We hope that your magical journey with us has created wonderful memories that will last a lifetime. Walt Disney said that the Magic Kingdom is a world of imagination, hopes, and dreams. In this timeless land of enchantment, magic and make-believe are reborn, and fairy tales come true. The Magic Kingdom is a place for the young and the young at heart. A special place where friendly children smile. Until we see Have a safe trip home. Thank you and good night.
So long, everybody.
Outside of Cinderella Castle here, you can see just how empty it is right now as Disney After Hours wraps up in the park. You know, if it's not for just the fact that you could ride almost every single ride in this park, if not every single ride in this park in just a few hours, the atmosphere with the fact that, just look at this. It's a different experience. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a much better experience than another hard ticket event. Like, for example, if you want a very festive hard ticket event here in the Magic Kingdom, not so scary, very Merry Christmas, nothing can beat those. But here, if you're looking for a more personal experience, Disney After Hours is definitely the way you want to go. I just want to thank you all for watching the vlogs and making this trip to Disney After Hours possible for me. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Much more on the way from outside the Cinderella Castle here in the Magic Kingdom. This is Brayden. Have a magical day.